got everything. I said I want it. Now what?
The view from here is exactly what I described to everyone who asked where I was going. Exactly the coordinates I gave myself at 25. Standing at the bottom looking up, saying there's where I'm going. Got here at 38, stood at the top, looked out at the view I've been describing for 13 years. I felt something I hadn't budgeted for in the plan. Nobody tells you about altitude sickness in the metaphorical sense, and the disorientation of arriving at the thing you organize your entire life around. Arriving at the particular vertigo of achieving the goal that was supposed to answer the question that turns out the goal was never qualified to answer. Nobody puts the inner self-help, but nobody grabs it on a vision board. Altitude sickness at the top of everything I climb for. Altitude sickness, the view is real, the achievement is real. The emptiness that arrived with it, also real, also unexpected, also not in the itinerary. Altitude sickness, success without the satisfaction I was promised would accompany it. Altitude sickness, now what? Now what? Now what? After the now what is answered, what comes after the answer? Nobody asked that question in any book I read on the way up. Sat on the summit longer than planned, trying to feel the feeling. I rehearsed for this moment, the arrival feeling, the finally feeling all that work was worth it. Feeling it came eventually, smaller than expected, more quiet than the version I'd imagined. Less like fireworks, more like a door opening into another room that also needs furnishing from scratch. Called my friend from the top, she asked, how does it feel? I said, strange, she laughed. Said, yeah, that's what my dad said when he retired after 40 years building what he built. Said he stood in the empty office on the last day and felt. Said, strange is just a body learning new altitude. Said, give it time, the air gets normal. Eventually you learn to breathe. At every height eventually the view stops being disorienting and starts being simply where you live now. Altitude sickness, temporary. Altitude sickness, the body catching up to where the ambition already arrived. Altitude sickness, not a sign you climbed the wrong mountain, just a sign you climbed the real one. High enough for the air to be different, high enough for the body to need time to adjust to the new normal of being this far up. Altitude sickness, I'll stay at the top long enough to breathe normally, long enough to furnish the new room, long enough to understand that the next climb starts here, always starts from wherever you currently stand. Altitude sickness, welcome to the summit. Rest here a while, then look up. There's always another there, another that's where I'm going. Breathe slowly.
You made it.
Now what?
Yeah.
Now what?
Yeah.
Now what? Yeah. Nobody starts as a finished thing. That's not how any of this works. I have a photograph from the first time I try to cook something real, not pasta, not the safe thing, something that required technique, commitment, a willingness to fail in front of ingredients that deserve better. The photograph is evidence of a disaster so complete. It became its own category. My neighbor heard the smoke alarm, knocked to check, saw the kitchen, saw my face, said nothing, went home, came back 10 minutes later with food she'd made, set it on my counter. I patted my arm, said everyone starts here, and left without making a thing of it. That woman saved something in me that night, more than dinner. Ooh, amateur most honest word in any language. Amateur, doing the thing for love before you could at the thing, before the thing is good to your back, before anyone would pay to watch you do the thing. Amateur, showing up to the canvas, the kitchen, the instrument, the page, the chord, the stage, with nothing but the one and two, and the willingness to be terrible on the way to something else, where everything real begins. There's a cruelty in how we treat the beginning of things in ourselves and in others, the impatience with the learning curve, the embarrassment of the visible struggle, the desire to skip to the part where we're good, as if the amateur hours are something to survive rather than something to inhabit fully, the way my neighbor inhabited that 10 minutes of going home and coming back with food without a lesson, without an explanation, just a quiet acknowledgement that everyone starts here and that here is not a lesser place. Yeah. I cook well now, nothing exceptional but honest, but mine can feed people without the smoke alarm. Most nights still make mistakes, but they're intermediate mistakes now, which is its own kind of progress. The photograph is still on my phone. Look at it with something new and hard, makes me feel like I should already be good at it. Remind myself that the kitchen that looked like catastrophe is the same kitchen that fed 12 people last Thanksgiving, and everyone asks for the recipe. Becomes something else if you stay in the kitchen long enough, if you let the neighbor feed you on the hard nights, if you take the photograph and keep it as evidence, not a failure but a beginning. Amateur, beautiful word, amateur, where the love lies purest before the technique covers it, before the skill makes it look easy, before the performance of competence replaces it. Genuine, reaching towards something you don't know how to do yet. Amateur, protect the amateur in yourself and others in the neighborhood who just started something new and burned it and can hear the smoke alarm from your kitchen and need someone to go home and come back with food without a lesson, without making a thing of it. Amateur, everyone starts here. Start anyway. Everyone starts here. Yeah. Anyway. Anyway. before everything was instant. Things took time, and the time was the point. My father had a record player in the corner of the living room that nobody was allowed to touch, except on Sundays when he'd take a record from the sleeve with both hands on the edges. The specific care of someone handling something that deserves handling, with both hands on the edges. Lower it to the turntable with the patience of a ceremony. The needle would find the groove. There'd be that specific second of surface noise before the music, that anticipation, that crackle, that tiny delay between wanting and receiving, that the digital version eliminated along with something else I couldn't name for years. But miss the way you miss a smell without being able to describe it to someone who never experienced it. And the love, the friction between wanting and having, that friction was the feeling. And a lot, the needle finding the groove, the crackle before the music, the deliberate handling of something that deserves both hands on the edges. And a love, we optimized the waiting out of everything and lost the specific pleasure of the wanting before the having that made the having feel like something other than just another thing we have now. And love, I want the crackle back, I want both hands on the edges, I want the ceremony back. He'd sit down after lowering the needle in the same chair every Sunday, same posture, legs crossed, hands folded, like someone about to receive something worth being still fuzz, which it was. And the whole family knew not to talk through the first song, that was the rule. Nobody stated, everybody honored. The first song was his, just his, and then the room could join. But the first song belonged to the ritual of the handling and the needle and the crackle and the having a ride. Finally, after the wanting, I downloaded his entire record collection last year. Every album transferred to a service that holds 40 million songs, instant, frictionless, both hands never required. Listen to his favorites on my phone, walking to the market, one earbud and distracted, efficient, absolutely missing the entire point of what those records were for. Went home, got the record player out of storage where it had been since the apartment got smaller. Put on the first record with both hands on the edges, lowered the needle, sat down, legs crossed, hands folded, waited for the crackle, let the first song be just mine. Man, I love the long way around is sometimes the only way that arrives at the actual destination. Analog, both hands on the edges, the crackle before the music, the chair you sit in to receive what you handled carefully enough to deserve. Analog, not nostalgia, not resistance to the convenient, just the understanding that some things require the friction to be what they are. That the crackle, it's not a flaw in the delivery. The crackle is the delivery. And I love, lower the needle, sit down, legs crossed, hands folded. First yours, just yours, let it play. Both hands on the edges. The crackle, yeah, there it is. Yeah. Looked in the mirror, didn't recognize the face, knew the name though. Been performing a version of myself so consistently that the performance started feeling like the original. Started forgetting where the character ended and the person began. Started answering to a name that fit the role, but not the soul underneath it. The one that shows up at 4 AM when the audience is gone home and nobody's watching the show. I built a brand before I built the foundation. Decided who I was for consumption before I knew who I was for keeps. And now the brand is successful and the foundation is a question. I keep avoiding the dinner parties when someone asks, what do you actually want? And I give them the answer that photographs well carbon copy of a man I designed for approval. Carbon copy, every edge sanded, every shadow color corrected. Carbon copy, distributed widely, well received by everyone who never met the original, which is everyone, including increasingly me. Carbon copy, somewhere in a drawer, the rough draft, the unedited version, the one with the real answers to the real questions. Carbon copy, I'm going looking for the original. Starting tonight, strip it back to curated playlist, to considered opinions, the aesthetic, the position on things that sounds right in a room. Strip back the networking smile, the professional warmth, the way I modulate my personality for the audience present. Strip all of it back to the wall and ask who's left when nobody's looking. Who's left when the performance has no audience? Who's left? Found something in the stripping back, unexpected, quieter than a version I've been broadcasting, less impressive at dinner parties, more honest at 4 AM. Someone who doesn't have all the answers, doesn't perform certainty. He doesn't feel, someone whose edges aren't sanded, whose shadows are real and specifically mine, and kind of beautiful in the ugly way that real things are, that unedited things are, that originals are before they become their copies. Not a carbon copy, not anymore, not a carbon copy. Found the original in the drawer, rough edges, real shadows are modulated and optimized, unbroadcast, completely terrifyingly mine. Not a carbon copy. The first draft was always the truest 101. Then before anyone told me what it was supposed to say. Not a carbon copy, original recovered, returning to the surface after years underground. Original still here, always was here, still here. The real one. Original, yeah. Always was. Nobody matters. The interior, you have to go in and draw as you go. My grandfather had maps on every wall of his study, not decorative working maps, covered in his marks, his routes, his corrections to the official version of roads that didn't exist exactly where the cartographer said they did. He trusted the map as a starting point, never as a final word on what the territory actually was. I've been mapping myself in a similar way, starting with the official version, the one my family drew before I had any say in the legend, the one my education confirmed, my culture endorsed, my early choices cemented into something that looked like a finished map but was missing entire territories nobody had. Survey, cartography of the interior, all the rules the official map didn't include. Cartography, here be dragons, which means here be the parts of yourself that scared you into leaving them off the map. Unmarked, unvisited, rumored, but never confirmed by anyone when to go there. Cartography, I'm going there, drawing as I go, correcting the official version with my own marks, my own routes, my own discovery that the roads are not exactly where they said they were. Found a territory I didn't have a name for, somewhere between what I was told I wanted and what I actually want, when nobody is contributing to the decision. A landscape that doesn't appear on any map I was given, sat there in the middle of it with my pen, trying to describe what I was seeing to a page that had no frame of reference for this particular geography. Drew it anyway, imperfectly, in my own uncertain lines. My grandfather would have approved of the imprecision. Set an honest map with errors is worth more than a perfect map of the wrong territory. The cartographers of the old world would write at the edges of the known. Here be dragons, me. Beyond this point, we have no information. Beyond this point, you are on your own. Beyond this point, the map cannot help you. I used to stop at those edges, turn back to the known territory. The map parts, the confirmed roads. Recently I've been going past the edges into the here be dragons, finding no dragons, finding instead just more territory waiting to be named by whoever was willing to go there first. Cartography, ongoing work, cartography. The map never finished while the territory keeps revealing new rooms, new roads, new landscapes that don't appear on a version you were handed at the start. Cartography, here be dragons is just another way of saying here be the unexplored, here be unmapped, here be the parts of yourself that nobody charted before you, because nobody has ever been exactly you in exactly this territory. Call what you find, call what you find, draw what you find, not what the map says you should find. What you find, draw what you find, draw what you find. Correct the official version with your own marks, your own routes, your own honest, imprecise, completely necessary correction to the map of a life being lived in real territory, not the one on the wall. Walk out fine. Correct as you go. Correct as you go. Cartography, yeah, here be you. Not the butterfly, caterpillar, the in-between. The uncomfortable middle. Nobody talks about the chrysalis stage. Everyone wants the butterfly story, the transformation complete, the wings already working, the magnificent emergence into something unrecognizable from what it was. Nobody wants to sit with the dissolving the part where the caterpillar becomes neither thing, completely just a super rearranging in the dark. Inside something it built around itself for exactly this purpose. I've been in chrysalis for about 2 years now. Neither who I was before the thing that changed everything, nor whoever is forming in the dark, just the dissolving, the uncomfortable need of the specific vertigo of a self between versions that doesn't show on the outside, that looks from the outside like nothing is happening when everything is happening. Just quietly, just internally, in the dark. Chrysalis stage, nobody photograph. Chrysalis the work nobody sees, because the work is happening inside something you built to protect it from being seen while it's still becoming chrysalis. Trust the dissolving, trust the rearranging, trust that what's forming in the dark knows what it's doing even when you don't. Chrysalis, you are not stuck, you are not stuck, you are not stalled. You are not the caterpillar who gave up, you are the soup in the middle of becoming something that doesn't have a name yet. The caterpillar doesn't dissolve completely. Scientists found imaginal cells dormant in the caterpillar, all along, cells that contain the blueprint of what it's always been becoming. The butterfly was always in there waiting for the right stage, the right darkness, the right dissolution of everything that was before to activate what was always intended. I find that extraordinary. The blueprint was in there the whole time, just waiting for the chrysalis. I found some imaginal cells in myself recently, things I was before the world told me what to be. Drawings I made at 7 before anyone told me if I was good or not good at drawing. Songs I sang before self-consciousness, me singing a performance required evaluation. The blueprint was in there all along, under everything the world told me I was. Instead the chrysalis, the stripping back, the dissolution of the accumulated external is just the process of the imaginal cells remembering what they always knew. Chrysalis, almost done. Chrysalis, something pressing against the inside of what I built around myself, getting stronger, getting closer to the surface. Chrysalis, the butterfly doesn't need help out of the cocoon. The struggle of emergence built the strength for the wings. Premature help produces a butterfly too weak to fly. Chrysalis, let the emergence take the time it takes, let the pressing against the inside build the strength that builds, let the blue the imagine sounds that always held finally fully flower. This that was always becoming in the dark, inside the biblical, necessary, beautiful chrysalis stage. Chrysalis, feel it pressing out. Yeah, almost time. Feel it pressing out. Yeah, almost. Yeah. Switch to DECAF at 39. Everyone's hit it like I've given up on something. Maybe I had. Maybe that was the point. Used to need the hit to start before I could be functional before I could be present, before I could be the version of myself that meetings required, that mornings required, that the relentless forward motion of a life being optimized required. Used to need the acceleration just to arrive at the baseline. The doctor said, try without for a month. I laughed like that was a personality rather than a habit. She waited for me to finish laughing and wrote the recommendation anyway, in the specific unhurried way of someone who has all day and knows you come around. Oh, DECAF, slower mornings that turn out to be the right speed for a morning. DECAF, noticing the coffee actually tastes like something without the urgency drowning in. DECAF, not giving up on the morning, just agreeing to meet it at the pace it was always moving, which was slower than it was running toward it. DECAF, the morning was fine this whole time. I was the problem. First morning without the heat, everything moved like something filmed at the wrong speed. Too slow, slightly unreal, the birds outrageously loud, without the rush in my chest competing with them. Sat with the coffee that tasted like coffee, watched the light do its thing across the floor for 15 minutes without reaching for the next thing, without calculating the day into submission. 15 minutes of just the coffee and the light and the birds that were always that loud. I just never heard them before. My colleague asked why I switched. I said I was tired of needing something just to feel normal. She nodded, said that's not about coffee. I said I know. She said how's the rest of it? I said get in there. She nodded again, a specific nod of someone who has been getting there long enough to know what getting there actually looks like from the outside. Looks like DECAF, looks like 15 minutes with the birds, looks like arriving at the morning. The morning's speed. Not yours, not a compromise, a correction. DECAF, the morning is not a problem to be solved with acceleration. The morning is a thing to be inhabited at the speed it actually moves, which is slower than everything I was told a productive life should move. DECAF, the birds were always this loud, the light was always this specific on the floor. The coffee always tasted like this underneath the urgency I brought to a DECAF. I arrived finally at a morning that was waiting patiently for me to show up at its speed and just sit down and drink something that tastes like what it is. Nothing added, nothing required. Cried, just this, just morning, just here. Finally, here, finally, here, 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 here. Yeah, so always allowed, be careful, be careful. Just sit. Be careful. Just sit. Be careful. Be careful. I knew it was ending before it ended. Grief arrived early, yeah. this time. There's a specific kind of morning starts before the loss is official, before anyone has said the words that make it real. You can feel a thing leaving before it goes the way you feel. The season turning before the calendar confirms it. Something in the air, something in the quality of the light, something in the way they hold their coffee slightly differently than they used to, when everything was still fine. I've gotten good at recognizing the signs too good. Some would argue my therapist among them says I anticipate loss so accurately. I sometimes create the conditions for the thing I'm trying you prepare for, which is a specific kind of sophisticated self-destruction that requires a particular kind of sophisticated dismantling. Deja gone, already mourning what's still here. Deja gone, living in the aftermath of something still in progress. Deja gone, the grief arriving before the fact, like a guest who got the day wrong and you let them in anyway, because they came such a long way. Deja gone, I'm here, you're here, and I'm already missing you while you're still in the room, still in the chair, still holding the coffee, the specific way you hold it when everything is still fine. She caught me doing it last month. Say you're gone already, aren't you? I was sitting right next to her. Said, what do you mean? She said, you're mourning something that's still here. I looked at her at the coffee, at the room that was completely intact, completely unpacked, completely fine. Said, how do you know? She said, cause I know the look is the look of someone already standing at the door with their coat on while the party still goes. Ooh, working on the stay in, the radical act of being fully present is something without calculating it's and without packing a portion of myself away in advance against the loss that may or may not come. Working on the open hand, the healthy help without the contingency plan of the already grieving. Working on letting the party be the party code, still on the hook, not on my shoulders, still in the room, both feet still here, still here. Deja gone, no, deja gone. Cold on the hook where it belongs, still here in the chair with the coffee, with the person who noticed the look and called it by its name, which is the only way to stop a pattern. Someone has to see it, name it, say you're ready at the door. Come back to the room and still completely intact. Come back to the thing that hasn't left yet. Leave if you stop practicing this departure. Deja gone, not today, not this room, not this coffee, not this person who knows the look and loves me past it. Deja gone, not today, still here, coat on the hook. Not yet, not today. Yeah, yeah. We knew going in, some things come with a date already printed, on the package. The milk goes bad on Thursday. The passport in October. The lease in March. We are very good at tracking the expiration of ordinary things. Very practiced at checking the bottom of the carton before we commit to the purchase. Very careful with everything that has a date printed clearly on its surface. Less good with the things that don't. Friendships have expiration dates. Nobody prints on the packaging. You find out by opening what you thought was still good and discovering something changed while you weren't looking, while you were busy assuming permanence because nobody told you to check expiration date on a version of myself I've been selling to everyone, including me. Expiration date on the story I keep telling about who I am and what I want and where I'm going, which made sense at a certain age in a certain city with certain people around me confirming it. Expiration date, nothing wrong with the product, just the product has a shelf life. I am the shelf life. It expired while I was busy not checking the bottom of the cart. There's a kind of grief in throwing out what used to be good, what was genuinely nourishing at the time, what served you completely until it didn't. The trick is not keeping it past the date, out of sentiment, out of the sunk cost of having bought it, out of a refusal to admit that good things expand without becoming bad things. They just become done things, which is different, which is allowed, which is actually just time doing what time does. I cleaned out the pantry of my beliefs last winter, checked everything against the person I currently am, not the person who stocked those shelves 5 years ago. Found something still good, still nourishing, still accurate. Found some things I've been consuming out of habit, out of the familiarity of the flavor rather than any actual current need. Expired, some gently, some badly, all of them made room for whatever I need to stock the shelves with now. Expiration date, check the carton, check the story, check the version of yourself you've been distributing is current. Ask honestly, is it still good? Is it still true? Is it still who I actually am? Or who I was when this was first packaged? Expiration date, not a failure, not a waste, just information about what's current and what's done and what still nourishes and what's been sitting on the shelf. Past its usefulness, out of habit, out of sentiment, out of the human reluctance to throw out what once was good. Expiration date, check everything, keep what's current, release what's done, restock accordingly. The pantry of a person in progress always needs fresh inventory, always needs someone brave enough to check the bottom of the carton before assuming everything is still good. Check the date, make room. Expiration, yeah, still good, but done either way, no way. every family. Has a version. They tell. And a version that actually happened. My uncle was a legend. By the time I was born, 30 years of retelling had smoothed every rough edge into something more useful to the narrative. The failures became lessons, the disasters became adventures. The years he disappeared became a journey of self-discovery, which maybe they were depending on who's telling it and what they need. Story. Every family runs on folklore, stories that explain where you come from, and therefore who you are, and therefore what's possible for you. The immigrant story, told until it becomes sacred text. The sacrifice story, carried forward as both gift and weight. The black sheep story, the ones and occasionally inspires, depending entirely on which side of the family is doing the telling. Folklore, the stories we inherit before we can evaluate them. Folklore, running in the background of every decision, every relationship, every moment you react to something in a way that surprises you. And then remember, oh, that's the story that's running in the background. That's the folklore I was given before I could consent to the narrative. Folklore, some of it worth keeping, some of it worth examining in the light of who you actually are, rather than who the story needs you to be. My mother told me something at the kitchen table when I was maybe 16. She said, stories they tell about you before you're old enough to tell your own are just their first draft. She said you get to write the next one. I didn't understand at 16 what she was giving me. Understand it now. Every day the first draft was theirs. Every draft after this is mine. I've been collecting the folklore of my own life, the stories I tell a din about who I am, noticing which ones I've been telling so long. They've developed the smooth edges of something retold 30 times. The failures quietly becoming lessons, the disasters gradually becoming adventures. The years I'd rather not explain becoming journeys of self-discovery, which maybe they were depending on who's telling it and what I need the story to mean right now. Folklore, I'm the author now. Folklore, the family version was the first draft, necessary and perfect, not the last word. Folklore, I get to decide which stories travel forward, which ones get retired, with love and gratitude for the distance they carried me before I was ready to carry myself. Folklore, stories worth keeping are the ones that make room for who you're becoming, not just who you were when someone else needed you to be a certain thing for the narrative to work. Folklore, who drive, new drive. My handwriting, my legend, my smooth edges and rough ones, left deliberately rough, because the truth is always more interesting than the version polished for retelling. New drive, your handwriting, folklore, yeah. Write it yourself. Some people, you find immunity. Some people, you spend years almost hearing.
My grandmother had an old radio in the kitchen, not one smooth from years of daily searching through static for the one station that played the music she wanted. Had to find it fresh each morning. The station never quite the same frequency. 2 days running, she turned the knob with the patience of someone who understood that the signal was always there, just required the daily work of finding it. People have frequencies, I've decided. Some people you tune to immediately. First conversation, clear signal, no static, no searching, just the immediate recognition of something, broadcasting at exactly the wavelength you receive best. Others you circle for years, almost hearing something worth hearing, just slightly off, just enough static to make you wonder if you're receiving them or someone they're pretending to be. Frequency, the invisible thing that makes two people either connect or not. Frequency cannot be fake, cannot be performed into existence, cannot be willed into clarity by wanting it hard enough. Frequency, either the signal reaches you or it doesn't. Either something in you knows how to receive what they're sending, or you spend years slightly off, slightly static, slightly almost, but never quite tuned in. Frequency, the most honest thing about any connection. Met someone at a dinner nobody wanted to attend. Talked for 2 hours in the kitchen, away from the actual dinner, about things I hadn't talked about in years, because nobody had the frequency to receive them without translating into something more comfortable for the room. She received everything exactly as sent. No translation, no adjustment, no static in the middle of what I said and what she heard. Just signal clean and clear, like my grandmother's radio on the mornings when the frequency cooperated and the music came through perfect. I think about what I broadcast as much as what I receive, whether I'm sending something true at a consistent frequency or whether the static is mine, whether the people who couldn't quite hear me were on the wrong frequency, or whether I was broadcasting something adjusted for easier reception, something easier than the actual signal, something that sounds like me, but processed, compressed, optimized for the widest possible audience, rather than the specific few who would receive the unprocessed version perfectly the way she did in the kitchen. Nobody wanted to attend. Frequency, stop adjusting the broadcast for easier reception. Frequency, send the actual signal at the actual strength it wants to travel at the actual wavelength of what you really are, and let the people whose receivers are built for exactly that find you. The way my grandmother found the station every morning, patient, turning the knob through the static toward the music that was always there, just required the daily honest work of tuning toward it. Frequency, send the real one, the uncompressed, the unprocessed, the actual you broadcast clearly at full strength, and trust that somewhere in the static of all the people you'll ever stand next to at dinners nobody wanted to attend, someone's receiver is already tuned to exactly clear. There it is. Frequency, yeah. Oh, dear. No, perfect. Not finished, but done. And that's okay. I submitted something last Thursday that wasn't best work. Knew it while I sent it. Stayed with that knowledge for about 6 hours, which is progress. Used to stay with that knowledge for 6 weeks, picking apart every sentence, every choice, every version of myself that touched the thing before it went out into the world, and perfectly representing everything I could have done if I'd had more time, which I always need more of. The perfectionism was never about quality. My therapist said that 3 years ago. I disagree for 2 of them. The perfectionism is about control, she said, about the illusion that if you make it perfect enough, nothing bad can happen to it or to you for making it. Which is the kind of logic that sounds reasonable, to wait over something that was due and good enough is a radical act for someone who was taught that almost perfect is the same as failing. Good enough shit is worth more than perfect. Waiting for the one more pass that becomes 2 more passes, that becomes 6 hours, becomes 6 weeks, becomes never, because nothing ever arrives at the place we're sending it. Feels safe. Thursday it landed, it was received, the world continued. Good thing if it did not happen. Good enough was enough. Turns out they wrote back Friday morning, said this is exactly what we needed. Not this is perfect, now we couldn't find a single flaw, just this is exactly what we needed. Which is the actual point of making things for other people. Not the perfection, but the fitting of what you made to what they needed. My best work and what they needed are not always the same thing. Good enough for the needed, sometimes more useful than perfect for my ego, for my ego, for my ego. Started practicing the done over the perfect and small things first. The email that says what it means without the foredraft. The meal that feeds everyone without the apology for the sauce, the conversation I had instead of the perfect version I rehearsed and never got around to having, because the rehearsed version never felt ready. And the real person in front of me needed the real conversation, not the perfect one done over perfect. Every time the world received it, every time. Good enough, the most productive thing I ever learned. Good enough, releasing the grip of the impossible standard that protected me from nothing except the experience of actually making things and sending them into the world where they could help someone to fail or both, which is the only way anything ever finds out what it's for. Good enough. Thursday landed, Friday they said exactly what we needed. Saturday I let myself feel good about that without immediately identifying how the next one could be better. Saturday just good, just enough, just done, just sent, just received. Just good and done. Everything in here grows on purpose. Nothing accidental. Whoa, but a greenhouse. Yeah. My neighbor has a greenhouse in her backyard. Built it herself
over a summer nobody asked about. Just appeared one September, glass and intention, warm against a cold month. She grows things in there that have no business growing in this climate, at this latitude, at this particular stubbornness of geography. She just creates the conditions and the things grow anyway. Because conditions are everything, are everything. I've been thinking about conditions, about the environments we build or don't build for the things we want to grow in ourselves. How we plant a dream incompletely wrong. So then wonder why it struggles, then blame the dream rather than the conditions we gave it to grow in. Greenhouse, build the conditions first. Greenhouse, don't put the seed in the ground and then think about the soil. Think about the soil, think about the warmth. Think about the light before the seed, before the expectation of a thing. Growing in whatever you happen to have. On hand, greenhouse, some things need specific warmth to become what they are. That's no weakness in the thing, that's information about what it needs. Build the greenhouse, build it first. She let me in one morning. Her greenhouse smells like somewhere else entirely, like a climate that has no business existing behind a house in the city. In this November, she showed me what she was growing, named them all by their full names. The way you name things you respect, the way you name things you intend to take seriously. Said they just need the right conditions. Said it simply like it was obvious, like the lesson applied to more than plants. Started building conditions for the things I wanna grow in myself. Deliberately the way she built her greenhouse over a summer, nobody asked about the relationships that make honesty feel safe, the schedule that makes creativity feel possible, the physical conditions, the sleep, the movement, the food that makes the brain feel like an environment worth working in. Small constructions, unglamorous, nobody photographs, nobody asked about, just appearing. One September, glass and intention, warm against whatever cold is coming. Greenhouse, everything I wanna grow needs one. Greenhouse, real conditions are the work, not the waiting for conditions to improve on their own. Wish they don't, wish they never do without someone building the glass around them deliberately. Greenhouse, my neighbor grows impossible things at an impossible attitude by refusing to accept that the geography is the limit. Greenhouse, I'm doing the same with the impossible things I wanna grow in myself. That this latitude of a life at its own, climbing its own cold months. Building the glass, building the warmth, building the conditions first, then the seed, then the patient daily attention of someone who understands that growth is not magic, it's conditioned. Built deliberately by someone who decided the impossible thing was worth the greenhouse. Build it first, then plant. Greenhouse, yeah, conditions first. Yeah, conditions first. Nobody writes by hand anymore, which means when someone does, it means everything.
Found a letter in a shoebox under the bed during the move. Hadn't seen it in 11 years. Recognized the handwriting before I read a single word, which tells you something about handwriting. The typing will never replicate the specific, unrepeatable personality of the way a person holds a pen against the page. She crossed the sevens, European in style, oh wait. Said her mother taught her that way, and she never unlearned it. Even after 20 years in a country that didn't cross the sevens. Some habits are deeper than geography. Some things survive every relocation, every reinvention, every new city that tries to make you someone who crosses things differently. Handwriting the body signature on the mind's content. Handwriting with personality lies outside the person on the page. Long after the page outlives the hand that made it. Handwriting, you can hear the mood and the pressure of the pen, the rush day in the slatted letters, the careful loving, the deliberate spacing of a name written slowly like it deserved the time it took. Handwriting, nobody fakes it perfectly, the truth always bleeds through the ink. Already standing up in the middle of the moving boxes. Didn't sit down, didn't put anything else down first. Just stood there in the chaos of a life being transferred from one place to another. Reading words written 11 years ago by hands that knew me when I was someone slightly different. Who needed exactly this? Said in exactly this handwriting on exactly this page, which had been waiting in a shoebox under a bed for exactly this moving day to surface. Slowly on paper that deserves the slowness. Birthday cards that say more than happy birthday. Letters to people who will keep them in a shoeboxes under beds for 11 years, until the moving day surfaces them into exactly the moment they were always meant for. I cross my sevens the regular way, but I think about her when I do think about what small habits I'm passing into the world through the particular unrepeatable personality of the way I hold the pen against the page. Handwriting, future artifact. Handwriting, the most personal thing you leave behind that isn't a photograph. Handwriting, proof that a hand existed, that thought a specific thought at a specific moment, and committed it to a surface that survived the moment. Handwriting, write the letter, send the card, leave the note under the door, on the counter in a shoebox that some 11 years from now will find during a move. Recognized before reading will stand in the middle of their chaos and read, standing up without putting anything else down first. Handwriting, the most lasting thing we barely do anymore. Write it down. Yeah, write it down. Yeah, by hand. They'll keep it. Yeah, they always keep it.
forget everything else. Her life, almost forgot about myself. I have 14 plants in this apartment. Know each one by name, by need, by the specific frequency of their thirst. Know which one wants the east window in winter, which one soaks in direct sun, which one has been dying left dramatically for 3 years and refusing to commit to either direction I tend, with a consistency I haven't always extended to myself. Bought the first one during the bad year. The research said something about tending to living things during depression, something about the specific therapy of being needed by something that can't speak its need, but communicates it clearly enough in the lean of a stem toward light, in the particular droop of leaves that are telling you something if you learn the language. Houseplant, teaching me what I keep forgetting to apply to myself. Houseplant needs what I need, tight, needs the right soul for the specific thing it is. Not generic care, specific care for the specific living thing in the specific pot on a specific windowsill. Houseplant, what does the person tending you need? With the same consistency, the same attention, the same willingness to notice, the lean toward what's missing, and just provide it without drama, without delay. Houseplant, physician, heal thyself. There's a one in the corner I almost lost completely last February. Let it go too long between attention, convinced myself it was resilient, which is what we tell ourselves about the things we're neglecting. It's resilient, it can handle it, it'll be fine. It was not fine, it was barely holding on by the time. I know this took months to bring it back. Learn something about the difference between resilience and just not yet dead. Ooh, my friend came over, looked at all 14. Said you talk to them, don't you? I said sometimes. She said you don't talk to yourself that nicely. I said what she said, I've heard you talk to yourself. When something goes wrong, you never say that to the plants. I looked at the one in the corner, one I almost lost. Thought about what I said to it during the recovery. Gentle things, patient things, things like you doing well. Look at you coming back. I look back at my friend, said that's a fair point. Houseplant, extending the same care in both directions. Houseplant, what does a water schedule look like for a person who keeps forgetting they're also a living thing with specific needs for specific life, for specific soil? For the occasional gentle voice saying you're doing well, look at you coming back. Houseplant, I'm learning the lean of my own stem toward what's missing, learning to provide it without waiting for someone else to notice the truth. Houseplant, all 14, thriving a 15. The one in the mirror, getting there with the same consistency, the same specific patient attention. Finally, water yourself. You're a living thing. Hey, yeah. Don't forget. Houseplant, houseplant.
While the city sleeps, some people are just starting.
She clocks in at 11. Bad swipe, fluorescent flicker, the particular greeting of a building that runs without applause, without an audience, without anyone to notice the extraordinary, ordinary of people who keep things functioning while the rest of the world practices its unconsciousness. The night shift has its own culture, its own language, its own hierarchy of who makes the best coffee at 3 a.m. Who knows a shortcut through the loading dock? Who has a story about the thing that happened on a Tuesday nobody talks about in the daylight? The night shift knows things about a building that the day shift never will. Night shift workers holding the world together with tired hands. Night shift workers, night shift workers, keeping the lights on. For people who never wonder who keeps the lights on. Invisible labor, visible only in its absence. When things stop working, when the floors aren't clean, when the shelves aren't stocked, when the patients go unmonitored, and suddenly everyone notices what the night shift was. Night shift. I see you working in the dark for a world that sleeps through your finest hours. There's a 3 a.m. that only night shift people know. Not the insomniac 3 a.m. Not the party 3 a.m. Not the lying awake thinking about your choices 3 a.m. The working 3 a.m. The hands busy, mind quiet, body in rhythm with a task that needs doing regardless of what the clock says. The 3 a.m. of pure utility of being the person the building needs right now. In this hour that everyone else slept through, that particular 3 a.m. belongs to a specific kind of person, and they rarely get the credit they deserve for owning it. She clocks out at 7. Bad swipe, morning shift coming in, smelling of coffee and the outside of a world that just woke up. They pass in the corridor, barely in our different planets, same building. She takes the bus home through a city beginning its day with no knowledge of the night she just finished. Holding together, sits by the window, watches people on their way to offices that were cleaned while they slept. Floors mopped, bins emptied, everything reset for the day shift to undo slowly by night shift. The younger Morris heroism of showing up means missing what everyone else gets to have. Night shift, night shift, birthday babe parties, watched on phones during breaks, the school plays attended by the other parent, the dinners eaten alone in fluorescent break rooms at hours that have no name. Impolite conversation, night shift, trade-offs made quietly for mortgages and tuitions, and the specific pride of a person who provides without complaint, without audience, without anyone noticing until they don't. Night shift, I notice. Night shift. The world holds you a better morning than it gives you every single day.
Clock out. You held it. Get some rest. Yeah.
Night shift. No sore inside. started swimming instead. There's a moment in open water, past the point where the shore is still a comfort, past the point where turning back feels like the obvious option, where the swimmer has to decide, not with the head or something below the head, whether this is terror or freedom. And the honest answer is both, and the honest answer is that both is the only answer worth swimming for. I learned to swim late, which means I learned to fear first. Learn what water could do to a person who didn't know how to be in it, before I learned what water could give to a person who did. Fear first, then the learning, then the slow building of a different relationship with the same element that scared me into the shallow end for years. Open water, no lane markers, no wall to touch at the end of each lane. Open water, just the swimming in the depth beneath you that you decided to make peace with rather than measure. Open water where the good swim eventually end up when the pool stops being enough, when the lanes start feeling like the problem rather than the structure. Open water where the fear and the freedom are the same water entered differently. Open water, I'm swimming, I'm swimming. Past the point of comfortable distance from the shore a while back. Didn't announce it, didn't plan it, just found myself further out than I planned to go. Look back at the shore, getting smaller, look forward at more water than could see the end. I felt the fear, felt the freedom, chose the forward, not because the fear went away, because the swimming was more interesting than the standing at the edge deciding whether to swim. The open water teaches you things the pool never can. How to read the current, how to rest without stopping. The dead man's float of a life that knows how to pause without sinking. How to find your direction without lane markers, without the bottom being visible. How to trust the water to hold you the way it holds everything that knows how to be in it, without fighting or holding in. Open water, this is where the album ends. Open water, this is where the slow season sends you, when the roots went deep enough, when the chrysalis opened, when the threshold was crossed, when the RSVP was answered yes, when the frequency was found, when the scaffolding came down and the building stood. Open water, all of it led to this specific, vast, terrifying, beautiful. Open water, no shore required, no lane markers, no wall at the end of each length, just the swimming and the depth. You made peace within the current, you learned to read. And the water that holds everything that knows how to be in it. Open water, I know how to be in. Yeah. Finally open water, swimming. No shore needed. Just swim. There's someone else. Drive for once. Just look out the window. I am constitutionally to be a passenger in my own life. Always the driver, always the one with the route already calculated. The contingency already planned for the contingency of the contingency, which is exhausting in ways I am only recently admitting out loud to people who aren't my therapist. She offered a drive last Saturday just to the market, 20-minute round trip, nothing significant. I sat in the passenger seat for the first time in our entire relationship. Watched the familiar streets from the unfamiliar right side and realized I had never seen my neighborhood from this angle. Had been driving through it for 3 years without seeing it the way a passenger sees it, which is differently, which turns out to be importantly differently. Passenger, learning to trust the road someone else plotted. Passenger, watching the world from the side that doesn't have a steering wheel or the responsibility of everything arriving safely. Passenger, hands in my lap doing nothing, which feels wrong then less wrong and almost right and briefly perfect. Passenger, someone else is handling and the world hasn't ended, and we arrived at the market exactly as planned without me controlling a single variable. She stopped at a red light I didn't see coming, because I wasn't watching for it, because that wasn't my job. And in the moment before the light changed, I looked at her profile, the particular focus of someone doing something ordinary with full attention. And I thought, this is what she looks like when I'm not looking, because I'm always driving, always watching the road ahead of us, missing this the whole time, missing her driving right next to me.
There are things you only see from the passenger seat of your own life. Details the driver's focus excludes by necessity. People who love you doing ordinary things with full attention. The neighborhood from the right side for the first time after 3 years of left side. Only the particular relief of a red light you didn't anticipate or react to or be responsible for. Just experienced as a pause, as a moment of pure unhurried looking. Passenger, more often, for more often, more passenger, more often from now on. Passenger, let her drive sometimes, let the friend drive sometimes, let whoever has a route drive, while you look out the window at the neighborhood you thought you knew from an angle you've never seen it from. Passenger, the view from here is different, and by different I mean complete in ways the driver's view by necessity cannot be. Passenger, hands in your lap doing nothing, which is nothing, which is actually the specific necessary something of letting someone else carry it for 20 minutes while you finally see. Let it drive. Just look out the window. Passenger, yeah. Passenger, yeah, yeah. Look what you've been missing. Passenger, yeah. Look what you've been missing.
So long for someone to say it was okay. Realized eventually that someone was me. I have been waiting for permission since the age of 7, when permission made sense because the world was run by people taller than me, with more information about consequences and appropriate behavior, and what was allowed in which rooms, that which volumes, that which ages. I grew to their height, eventually acquired the information about consequences, became a person who decides what's allowed, and still found myself waiting for someone to say it's okay to want what you want and take up the space your body actually occupies, to speak at the volume. The thought deserves to write the thing you've been writing in your head for 3 years without putting it on paper, because putting it on paper makes it real, and real things require permission from someone you never quite identified. Permission, nobody's coming to grant it. Permission, the committee you've been waiting on to prove the life you wanna live doesn't exist, has never existed, was a story you told yourself, so the waiting would feel like patience rather than fear. I'm granting it to myself right now in front of whoever is listening. Permission to want the thing, to take the space, to write it down, to say it at the volume it deserves. Permission granted by the only person who ever had the authority to give it. It feels smaller than expected, the moment of giving yourself what you've been waiting for someone else to give you. Smaller and quieter, more complete than any external permission I ever received. Just a decision in an ordinary room on an ordinary day, that this is allowed, that I am allowed, that the warning doesn't need a committee, just a person willing to say yes to themselves without apology, without footnotes, without the paragraph of justification after it. Just yes, just this, just allowed. My daughter asked me last Tuesday if she could try something new, something small, something she was clearly already going to do regardless, but needed to hear was okay first. I said yes before she finished asking, and was something in her release the specific relief of a person who's wanting God met with yes immediately, without negotiation, without conditions. Thought about how long I've been asking a question that doesn't need an audience, that just needs me to answer before I finish asking. Permission to take the trip you've been planning for 4 years. Permission to leave the thing that stopped fitting 2 years ago. Permission to start what you haven't started because you were waiting for the right time, which is this time, which is always this time. Ooh, permission to be the person you already are when nobody's watching fully publicly, without the performance of being something smaller for the comfort of rooms that weren't built for the full size of you. Permission granted, no committee required, no waiting list, no application, no qualified external authority, just you saying yes to you finally, completely. Yes, permission granted by me, for me. She always left it on. She always left it on. Didn't matter what time. The light was always on.
didn't announce it, didn't make it a thing. Just quietly stayed awake in the particular loyal insomnia of someone who cannot rest while a piece of themselves is still out in the world unaccounted for. The porch light, her accomplice, both of them waited without making the waiting about themselves. I came home late one night, 17, certain I was in trouble, certain the lateness would cost me something. Found her in the kitchen, cup of tea already cold, book open to the same page it had been when I left. She looked up, said, "You hungry not? Where were you not? Do you know what time it is? Just you hungry?" Which was a different kind of accountability I was prepared for. Porch light still on at whatever hour. Porch light saying the door is always open for whoever needs to come home, no matter what they did out there in the dark. Porch light, not a trap, not a guilt, just a lamp that means someone is still awake who loves you. Past the lateness, past the details, past whatever happened between leaving and returning. Porch light, you hungry, that's all. Just you hungry. Yeah. I do it now without meaning to stay up when someone I love is still out in the world. Don't announce it, don't make it a thing. Just find myself awake at the hour when the tea goes cold and the book stays open to the same page, and the light is on at the front without anyone asking me to keep it on. Some things inherit themselves without discussion. Some lies pass from hand to hand down a family like a name. Yeah, there will be a night when nobody is waiting for me. Specifically, no light left on by someone who loves me past the lateness. And I think about that night sometimes, not with dread exactly, more with a particular tenderness for the gift I currently have and don't always notice. I have someone who stays awake, someone whose tea goes cold, someone with the book open to the same page, who looks up when I come through the door and says something small that means everything to me. I saw you leaving, I waited, and now you're back, and that is the only update I needed tonight. Porch light, I see you now the way I should have always seen you. Porch light, not a given, not a feature of the house, a choice made every night by someone who decided the waiting was worth it. That the cold tea was worth it, that the same page of the same book was worth it. For the moment the door opens and everyone is home, and the accounting can wait, and the only question worth asking is whether you're hungry. Porch light, I'm leaving it on every night for whoever needs it, for however long they needed. No question about the lateness, no details required, just the light, just the door, just you hungry, come in your home. Porch light, always on, always on. Your home. Always on, you hungry.
decaf everything. Every ticket, every timestamp, every proof.
I am a keeper of receipts, not the petty kind, not the ammunition kind, the archaeological kind, the proof that something happened kind. The ticket stub from the concert nobody remembers going to, except the two of us. The restaurant bill from the night, everything changed over pasta. We didn't finish because the conversation got too important for eating. There's a box in my closet that contains the physical evidence of a life being lived, deliberately brought in passes to cities that changed me in the specific ways only cities you arriving alone could change you. Receipts from bookstores and countries where I didn't speak the language but bought the book anyway, for the cover, for the keeping, for the proof that I was there. For everything that mattered, the physical memory when the mental one gets unreliable, gets edited by time and preference in the way we revise our own history to make the story work better. Don't revise, just sit there in the box being exactly what happened on exactly the date, at exactly the price, in exactly the city where you were, exactly who you were before everything changed. Yeah. Found one last week, dry cleaning receipt from 7 years ago, a jacket I still own, a Tuesday I cannot specifically remember, but existed completely for someone who needed their jacket clean by Thursday. 7 years ago, Tuesday person with a Thursday deadline, living a life I can no longer access except through this small paper proof that they were there, that they had plans, that Thursday mattered to them. I held it longer than a cleaning receipt deserved and put it back in the box. I'm less interested in the receipts of things I bought, more interested in the receipts of things I felt. The timestamp on the text that changed everything, the date on the photo where I looked unmistakably happy without knowing I was being photographed. The receipt for the coffee I bought the morning I made the decision that made me who I currently am. Small papers, enormous weight, the archaeology of a self in progress. Receive them. The box in the closet is not clutter, it's evidence that you were here, that things happened to you and you went anyway. Receipts, the ticket stub, the boarding pass, the dry cleaning slip from a Tuesday you can't remember but existed completely for someone who needed Thursday to work out. Receipts for the life being lived deliberately and perfectly, completely in the particular, unrepeatable way that only you could live it. Receives the paper proof of a person showing up day after day to their own specific one-time only existence. Keep the receipts, keep all of them. The box is worth the closet space. Keep them all. Proof you were here. Receipts, yeah, everyone. Tearing down walls. Nobody told you we're low bear. Started with the kitchen, always the kitchen.
where the damage shows first, where the years have accumulated everything layers itself in the grease and outdated choices and the particular stubbornness of a room that was designed for a version of your life that no longer requires it. Tore the whole thing down to the studs, which is terrifying and necessary in the same breath. The contractor said your bones are good, which is what they say. When the structure is sound, but everything built on the structure needs replacing. Your bones are good means start over, but not from zero. Start over from the best version of it was always underneath. Renovation, messier than expected. Renovation, till the dust gets into everything, kind of rooms you weren't even touching, into the clothes you wore to a different life entirely. Renovation, you can't do it halfway. You can't renovate one room and leave the rest the way it was. Everything connected, everything load bearing in ways the blueprint didn't show. Renovation, the house looks worse before it looks better. That's not a sign to stop. There's tile renovation, there's a week in every renovation where you regret starting where the old version, terrible as it was, seems preferable to the chaos of the in-between, where you're living in the middle of your own demolition without the new thing ready yet to replace what you took down. That week is the test. That week is where most people stop, put the temporary back up, call it good enough, living the almost fixed for years. Got through the week, stayed in it, let the dust settle on everything, including me. Woke up one morning to light coming through a window that hadn't existed the week before. New geometry, new angles, same sun, doing something completely different with the same space that had been unchanged for 15 years. Sat in that light for 20 minutes without moving, without planning the next thing, just sitting in the evidence that breaking things down to the good bones underneath and rebuilding from there. Actually, renovation done for now. Renovation, the bones renovation, no, we're always good. Renovation was built on them now. Fits the person I currently am, not the person who chose the original fixtures in a different decade for a different life. Space where walls were walls, where space was everything reordered to serve the actual life being lived in it. Not the imagined one, not the inherited one, not the one that made sense when the bones were first covered. Renovation, the dust settled, the contractor was right. Good bones, everything else replaceable. Everything in it else, a choice you get to make again. Renovation, make it yours this time. Actually yours. Good bones. Complete. They invited me to my own life. Took me
respond. There's an invitation that arrives at different ages for different people. Some get it at 22, standing in a field at a festival, suddenly understanding that this is their life, actually theirs to attend or not. Some get it at 45 in a hospital waiting room, or a boardroom, or a bathroom mirror on a Wednesday that had nothing special planned. Mine arrived on a Tuesday, naturally in the form of a question someone asked at dinner that I couldn't answer. About myself, couldn't answer the basic question about what I wanted from my own specific one-time only existence. Sat with the not knowing for 3 days, then decided that the not knowing was itself the RSVP, that I had been declining my own invitation for years, out of the comfortable habit of attending everyone else's RSVP to your own life before someone else fills your seat. RSVP, yes, with enthusiasm, without the qualifier of who else is going, without the check on whether the people you're trying to impress would be there to see you attending. RSVP, the invitation had your name on it, specifically not a +1, not a group booking, your name calligraphy on the envelope that you keep leaving on the hallway table unopened. RSVP, yes, finally, yes, finally, yes. I wrote mine in pencil first, which tells you something about the confidence with which I approached my own attendance. Set my own life pencil like I might want to erase it if something better came along, or if the room turned out to be wrong somehow for someone like me. Wrote it in pen, eventually blue ink, block letters, unambiguous. Yes, attending one guest, just me. No qualifications, no contingencies, no checking whether the room was right for someone like me. The room is built around whoever shows up to it. I showed up to my own life last spring, fully present for the first time in what might have been years of attending. Partially 1 foot in, 1 foot assessing the exit in case something required a graceful departure. Showed up both feet in the room that has my name on the invitation, on the envelope in calligraphy that took time to address to me. Specifically looked around at the life that happened, set up and running while I was deciding whether to attend. Said this is mine, this is actually mine, all of it. The good layout, the complicated seating arrangement, the catering that isn't quite what I would have ordered for myself. All of it mine, and I'm here finally. RSVP, yes to all of it. The parts that look like what you imagined, and the parts that absolutely do not. RSVP, yes to the room you're already standing in before you decided to fully inhabit it. RSVP, your name was on the envelope since the beginning, since before you knew what an envelope with your name on it in calligraphy actually meant. RSVP, blue ink, block letters, unambiguous, both feet all in. No exit assessment, no pencil, no qualifier, just yes, just attending, just the room that was always yours to show up to. Finally completely yours, I'm here. Both feet, RSVP, yeah, yes. Yes. The ocean doesn't apologize for being deep, just is. Hey. My father took me to the ocean
Once I was 7, maybe 8, the kind of age where large things register as feeling before they register as information. Stood at the edge where the cold came up over my feet, and I remember the specific shock of understanding that something existed that didn't care about me at all, and finding that inexplicably there's a therapy in salt water that fresh water doesn't have. Something in the minerals, something in the weight of it. Against your body, the ocean holds you differently than anything else holds you. Like it has no agenda for what you do with the holding, like buoyancy is its nature, not its gift to you specifically, just what it does with everything that enters it. Salt water heals things that nothing else reaches. Salt water knows, salt water knows where the wound is without being told. Every cut, every doubt, every calcified grief, you stop noticing because it's been there long enough to feel like furniture. Salt water finds it, salt water says, this one right here, you forgot about this one. Hey. Let it sting, let it cling, let the ocean do the thing the ocean has always done, long before you needed it to. Salt water, the oldest medicine, nobody patented because nobody could. And under once on purpose, stay down, long as my lungs would negotiate. Eyes open, the particular silence of being inside something that contains its own light. The muffled version of the world above, looking green and far away and manageable. From down here came up, gasping not from fear, from the specific relief of returning to the surface, knowing I could go back down anytime and come back up anytime. That the depth was always a choice, not a sentence. I moved in 15 years ago. Career decision, practical decision, the kind of decision you make with spreadsheets and opportunity costs and all the reasonable adult mathematics of a life being optimized. Is the ocean in the specific way you miss a language you were fluent in as a child and slowly lost through disuse. Not gone, just buried under 15 years of landlocked living. My body still knows the movement of water, my shoulders still release it, the sound of its salt water fluency never fully leaves. Salt water calling, 15 years later, salt water saying, come back, bring whatever the landlocked years accumulated. Bring the calcified grief, the furniture wounds, the carbon copy of yourself you've been distributing. Bring all of it to the edge where the cold comes up over your feet. Stand there at 7 years old again, at whatever age you need to be to remember that something exists that doesn't care about you at all, and find that inexplicably confined. Salt water, I'm coming back. Salt water, hold me the way you held everything, without agenda, just the ancient, generous, indifferent buoyancy of something vast enough to contain whatever I bring to the edge of it. Still mineral, still cold, still cold. Salt water, still here. Salt water, yeah. Salt water, still here. Still water, yeah, yeah. Built to support something not yet standing.
job.
The scaffolding around the building on my street has been there since March. Nobody looks at the scaffolding, they look at the building, which is the correct relationship between a structure and the thing it exists to support the scaffolding. Yeah. Doesn't mind, there's no ego about the looking, just stands there doing the unglamorous necessary work of holding things in place while the permanent thing figures out how to stand on its own. I have been scaffolding for people my entire adult life. The structure around the structure, the support for the thing that gets the looking, the one who shows up during the renovation and quietly goes away when the permanent thing is ready to stand without me, which is the correct ending for scaffolding, even when it doesn't feel correct from inside the metal frame. Scaffolding, temporary by design. Scaffolding, built to be removed when the work is done. Oh, and the permanent thing can hold its own weight. Scaffolding, honorable work that leaves no trace of itself on the finished thing. No credit in the architecture, no plaque on the wall that says this building stood longer during construction because of the scaffolding that held it. Scaffolding, the most selfless structure ever built. They took it down last week. The building on my street stood revealed, fresh face, cleaned up, exactly what it was always gonna be without the metal frame around it. People stop on the pavement to look the way people look at finished things. The scaffolding gone without ceremony, without anyone noting its absence, the way its presence was noted by no one. I stood there thinking about the months of March through October that it held things together, thinking about how the building doesn't know what held it while it figured out how to stand. Most buildings scaffolding, I'm learning to be my own scaffolding, less focused on holding everyone else's renovation together, more focused on the building. I'm always forgetting I'm also constructing simultaneously while scaffolding everything else in reach. My own renovation happening beneath the frame I keep putting up around others, less glamorous than it sounds, just a daily quiet choice to direct some of the holding capacity inward for once, for the building that has been under construction longer than any other on the street. Scaffolding done, holding everything except myself. Scaffolding coming down from everyone else's renovation, long enough to stand in front of my own building and ask, how's it looking from here, from the outside, without the frame, without the metal structure I keep putting up around it, and then standing back and looking the way you look at a finished thing that came down from a scaffolding and stood revealed exactly what it was always gonna be, without anyone holding it together. Scaffolding down, building, standing, finally its own way. Come down now, look at it stand. Scaffolding, yeah, did its job. Stronger at the break.
to believe the body knows how to heal
without being asked, without instructions, without understanding the biology of what it's doing. Just does it quietly in the background of a life still being lived. Sends the resources to the womb, builds something over it, slightly different from what was there before, slightly stronger in exactly the place that broke the mind. Takes longer, doesn't have the same automatic systems, the same unconscious competence. And repair has to be convinced, has to be shown evidence that the healing is possible, that the thing that broke can become something slightly different from what was there before, slightly stronger in exactly the place that broke the mind. Takes longer, but it gets there eventually, eventually, eventually. Oh, scar tissue, tougher than what it replaced it. Scar tissue, map of everything that broke and healed and broke and healed and is still here to show for its scar tissue. Not the wound, not anymore, not the bleeding, not anymore. Just a record of a body and a mind that kept coming back to the word whole again, in a different configuration than before. Scar tissue, the evidence of survival worn on the surface of everything that stayed. There's one on my left hand from a kitchen accident 20 years ago. Still feel it when the weather changes, which sounds dramatic, but it's actually just the truth of how scar tissue works. Remembers the injury in the language of weather and temperature, and the specific chemistry pressure of certain mornings. The scar still connected to the event that made it. Long after the event, it's just a story I tell about a knife and a distraction in the kitchen that taught me something about where to look when handling scar tissue. I wear it openly now, not as damage, not as something to hide or explain away or apologize for to anyone who asks about the map on the surface of a light that kept showing up after every breaking. Scar tissue, stronger at the break, they say. Takes a runner at the break, they say. Takes a while to believe it, then one day you press on it expecting tenderness, find instead something solid, something that held when it could have stayed broken. Something the body built without being asked, without instructions from the wound that was slightly different, slightly different, slightly stronger, exactly here where find you. I believe it now, finally I believe it, still here, stronger here, scar tissue. Someone else's story, ending up in your hands.
That's the whole magic.
I buy my books from the used store on the corner that smells like a very specific combination of dust and possibility, and the particular optimism of things that survived being finished with and found their way back to a shelf waiting for whoever needs them next, which is me. Most Saturdays with too much time and not enough for the right kind of company. Someone underlined page 47 of the book I found last week. One sentence
Double underline pressed hard into the page like it needed to be held there by force, like the reader was afraid it would escape before they finished needing it. I read the sentence, understood immediately why they pressed so hard. Pressed the same sentence myself with a different pen. Two strangers arriving at the same need across some unknowable distance of years. Second hand doesn't mean second rate. Second rate, second hand means someone loved it first, left something of themselves in leaving. Second hand books with margins full of someone else's arguments. Jackets with pockets that held someone else's hands. Warm furniture that supported someone else's difficult conversations. Second hand, everything comes with a history you didn't make and get to inherit anyway. Second hand, the most honest way to own anything. The margin notes are the thing I love most. The private conversation between a reader and a text that somehow became public by accident of survival. Question marks next to things they doubted. Exclamation points next to things that delighted them. The occasional single word that tells you everything about the person who left it without telling you anything about the person who left it. Found one once that just said no in large letters next to a paragraph about love. Never found out who wrote it, think about them regularly. My favorite chair came from an estate sale. Saturday morning, house being emptied of a life carefully built over 60 years into specific objects. Each one chosen, each one placed, each one now waiting for whoever would continue the conversation. The chair started with whoever sat in it. I sat in it in the driveway to test it. The woman running the sale watched me, said he read in that chair every evening after dinner without fail. I said I read in it too. She nodded like that was the correct answer, like the chair was looking for exactly that. Second hand continuation, not consolation. Second hand, the object that outlived its first story, ready for its second, third, however many it takes to wear it down to the honest and reducible core of what it was made to be. Second hand, the underlined sentence, the margin note, the pressed hard double line under the thing that needed holding down by force. Second hand, I add my lines to the ones already there. My pen, different color, same urgency, same need to mark the thing that moved me as moved, same need to leave something for whoever finds this next. Second hand, we're all just passing things along. Second hand, that's not sad, that's the whole beautiful point. Someone's story, now yours. Second hand, yeah, keep it going.
Yeah, keep it going.
Nothing growing, nothing dying, just the quiet of a life between things. Got it in January, looks like failure to anyone who doesn't know what dormancy actually is. Looks abandoned, looks finished, looks like someone gave up on something mid-sentence. Left it to the frost, to the gray, to the absence of everything that made it obviously alive. To the untrained eye, the January garden is a loss. To the gardener, it's a plan. I've had slow seasons that looked from the outside like stalling, like the engine cutting out on a hill, like a person running out of the particular fuel. Invisible progress requires from the outside, nothing happening from the inside. The root system deepening in the dark below the frost line. when nobody can measure it, where it doesn't show on any graph anyone is watching. Slow season, the garden knows what it's doing. Slow season, beneath the frost, beneath the gray, beneath the nothing that looks like nothing from the road. Something is happening that fast seasons don't allow. Slow season, rest is not the absence of work. Rest is the work that can't happen any other way. Slow season, let the roots go deeper than they could when everything was flowering and performing and proving it was alive. Slow season, the proof comes later. Slow season, trust January, my neighbor, the one with the greenhouse, told me once that the plants she struggles with are never the ones that had too little growing season. Always the ones that had too much, no dormancy, no slow season, no time in the dark, where the root could figure out how deep it needed to go to hold the weight of the flowering that was coming. She said a plant that never sleeps eventually just stops. She said the slow season is not against growth. The slow season is what makes growth possible. February in the garden, first thing nobody sees. Head thin, green, daily there, deciding to be there anyway. Against the frost, against the logic of the temperature, against everything that would suggest not yet, not here, not now. The garden disagreeing with all of that, quietly sending something up through the cold ground as evidence that the slow season did what slow seasons do, which is not nothing, which is the preparation for the thing that looks like the beginning but is actually the result of months of invisible root work in the dark. Slow season, ending on its own schedule. Slow season, the root went deep enough now. Slow season, February, hair thin, green, deciding against all logic of the temperature to be there anyway. Slow season, that's me, that's what the last quiet months were. Not failure, not stalling, not the engine cutting out on a hill, just roots going deeper than the flowering season ever allows. Slow season, trust the January, trust the dormancy, trust the nothing that is never nothing. Trust the plan, the garden sees when everyone else sees only the frost, only the gray, only the absence of everything that proves obvious life. Slow season, the proof was always coming. February, hair thin, green, here, still coming. Watch, slow season, yeah, nearly time. Slow season, yeah, nearly time.
How are you? Fine. And we both move on. Haven't said nothing.
We are extraordinarily skilled at talking without saying anything, at filling rooms with words that leave no residue on any surface. The weather, the commute, the thing everyone saw on the streaming service. Everyone is watching, a mutual agreement to stay in the shallow end together when nobody has to swim. I've been at parties where I talked to 11 people for 2 hours and came home knowing nothing true about any of them, having revealed nothing true about myself. 2 hours of pure linguistic transaction, words exchanged like currency that buys nothing you actually need. Small talk, the social contract nobody signed, but everyone
corners. Small talk, keeping the peace at the price of the actual conversation we might have if someone had been brave enough to ask the real question instead of housework. How's the family? How was the weekend? Small talk, I'm tired in a wave. You get tired of a diet that keeps you alive but never satisfies the actual hunger. Small talk, someone has to go first. Someone has to ask the thing they actually want to know. I tried it once at a work function. Asked someone I barely knew, what's the best thing that happened to you this year? The real best thing, not the promotable version. She looked at me like I'd broken a social contract she didn't know she was party to. Then she told me something true and specific, and we talked for 40 minutes in the corner while everyone else circulated. And at the end she said, nobody ever asked that. I said more people should. She agreed. We never spoke again, which is its own lesson about what bravery costs at work functions. My grandmother never did small talk, didn't have the patience for the shallow end. But as strangers on buses, what they were, worried about what they were, hoping for people would tell anyone because nobody asked it correctly. Small talk, respectful exit. You served your purpose, warmed the room up, got us through the first minutes of uncertainty. Thank you. Now step aside, the real conversation is trying to begin. Small talk, step aside, someone's trying to actually me. Someone else in here, step aside. How are you? Really? Take your time. Yeah. I actually wanna know.
Something between us. Not silence. Not sound. Stay.
We start fighting around October, not because anything got resolved, just because fighting requires the kind of energy we start generating for each other. Somewhere between the last argument and the one we never had, that would have fixed everything if either of us had started it. Now we're polite, which is worse than angry. Angry means something still matters enough to burn. Polite is the sound a relationship makes when it's decided to stop pretending it has anything left to say, but hasn't found the courage for the actual last word. Static between us, where the music used to be. Static between us, filling every room we share without sharing. Frequency of two people who loved each other into silence, who said everything and nothing all at once. Static, I'd rather have the argument, I'd rather have the noise than this particular quiet. The
That sounds exactly like giving up.
One of us has to say it, one of us has to reach through the static
and either find the signal or admit it's gone. I keep waiting for you to be the brave one. You keep waiting for me, and so we both wait in the static. Neither brave, neither gone. Just here in the in-between. That's slowly becoming the whole thing. Say something, anything. Dressed up for nobody special, just herself. That's the whole point. Grandma's church hat still in the closet, third shelf behind the winter coats. Nobody wears it, can't throw it away either. Some objects hold a person long after the person stops needing an object to hold them. I take it down sometimes just to remember what Sunday smelled like when somebody made it an occasion. We stopped dressing for the day, somewhere between convenience and the slow erosion of the small unnecessary rituals that turn out to be the necessary ones. Sweatpants are comfortable, I know, but there's something a person loses when nothing requires them to show up as the best version of themselves, even just for a Tuesday, even just for themselves. Sunday best, not for the church, not for the crowd. Sunday best, because the morning deserves the effort, because you deserve the effort. Sunday best, iron the shirt, nobody asked you to iron. Set the table, nobody's coming to light the candle in the empty room. Sunday best, the ritual of treating your own life like it's worth dressing up, like it's worth the good plates, the real coffee, the sitting down without the phone. Sunday, every day, or at least a day, at least a day. My grandmother never left the house without being completely herself. Hair done, cold pressed shoes shine, not for anyone. She always said for the day deserves to meet you at your best. She'd say, and the day would agree. Every time the day always agrees. I put on something real this morning, not a special occasion, just a Wednesday with nobody coming over, nobody to impress, just me in the apartment, in the coffee, and the grandmother's voice saying, the day deserves to meet you at your best. And I thought I deserved that too. I deserve to meet myself at my best on a Wednesday for no reason, for every reason, for the ritual of it, for the church hat on the third shelf, for the woman who taught me that showing up fully for your own life is the whole point. Sunday best, Wednesday morning yourself every day.
Worth the church at,
Worth the shine shoes,
worth the sitting down at the table you set
for no one and everyone in yourself. Most importantly, yourself.
Sunday best,
Grandma's still right.
Sunday best.
The day is waiting. Dress for it, show up for it.
Show up for yourself.
Sunday best, always Sunday best. Today, Sunday best. Day deserves it. So do you. Sunday best. Sunday best. Yeah, yeah. So do you. Sunday best. Yeah.
Sunday best.
Yeah.
Yeah. Standing in doorway, neither room, claiming you, both rooms, waiting. There. I read somewhere that people instinctively pause, yeah, in doorways that the brain registers. The crossing of a threshold as a boundary between states, files the information from the previous room and prepares for whatever the new room requires, which is why you forget what you came into the kitchen for. The doorway, yeah, erase the mission in transit. The doorway is a reset, whether you ask for one or not. I've been standing in a particular doorway for about a year. The room behind me completely known, completely mapped. Every corner, every sound, every draft from the window that never closed, properly known completely. The room ahead lit differently, furnished differently, smelling of something I don't have a word for yet. Something that could be possibility or just a different version of the same. Threshold. Neither room sets me completely. Threshold. The doorway, filing everything from before, preparing something for whatever's next. Threshold. Where the bravest people live briefly before they choose a direction, where the honest people admit they've been standing longer than the crossing should take. Threshold. All I see, both rooms from here, which is the gift and the difficulty of the threshold. You see too much to choose quickly, too little to stay forever. I put my hand on the door frame, both sides, left hand, right hand. The wood worn smooth by everyone who stood here before me, doing the same calculation, the same cost-benefit analysis of two rooms, neither perfect, both real, both waiting with the particular patience of rooms that have seen this before, that know eventually everyone crosses that the standing always ends in movement, one direction or the other. The frame warm under both hands from everyone who held it before me on their way through. The mistake I keep making is treating the threshold like a failure, like the standing is evidence of something wrong with my decision-making capacity, rather than evidence of someone taking the crossing seriously. The doorway is not where you fail to choose. The doorway is where you chose to understand what you were choosing before you chose it, which is actually the only intelligent relationship with a threshold that either room deserves. Threshold. One more moment in the frame. Threshold. Left hand, right hand, the one would want from everyone who stood here deciding. Threshold. The room behind me, known completely, loved imperfectly, thanked properly for everything it was. Threshold. The room ahead lit differently, furnished differently, smelling of something I'm ready to learn the word for. Threshold. Hands off the frame, now both feet moving in one direction. The doorway, filing everything from before the brain, preparing for whatever the new room requires. Threshold. Grows. Threshold. The room ahead, receiving me now. Both feet inside, both room behind me. The threshold empty for whoever needs it next. Crossed it. New room. Threshold. Yeah. Both feet. Yeah. Threshold. Yeah. Threshold. Threshold. Yeah.
Another weekend, yeah. Not a holiday, yeah. Just Tuesday, showing up anyway. Nobody writes songs about Tuesday. Nobody books the restaurant for Tuesday. Nobody puts on a good dress for Tuesday. Tuesday just arrives without announcement, without the courtesy of being significant. Says it's back down in your hallway, like it lives there, which it does, which they all do. The unremarkable days, they live here more than the remarkable ones, by a ratio that should inform how we treat them. I've been tracking the good moments for a month now, writing them down in the notes app before they dissolve into the general blur we're living in. Here's what I found: almost none of them happened on a Friday. Almost none of them were planned. Almost all of them were Tuesday or Wednesday, or some unnamed afternoon that had no idea it was gonna matter as much as it did. Tuesday, where the real life actually lives. Tuesday, not the highlight reel, the actual real, the inevitable, the unglamorous, the extraordinarily ordinary Tuesday, where she said the thing that changed how I see everything. Over leftovers on a weeknight that had no business being that important. Tuesday, where I figured out the thing I've been trying to figure out since January, on a walk I took for no reason on a Tuesday, going nowhere in particular. There was a Tuesday last November, nothing on the calendar, weather unremarkable, no headed reason for it to matter though. Woke up, made coffee, stood at the window, watched the street for 11 minutes, felt something settle in my chest that have been unsettled for months. Didn't do anything, didn't achieve anything. Just stood there with the coffee and the ordinary love. A Tuesday that decided without asking permission to be the day. Something shifted. I called my friend to tell her about the Tuesday. She said, that's a Tuesday thing. I said, what do you mean? She said, the big moments are Fridays. Everyone's watching on Fridays. The real moments happen Tuesday when nobody's performing for the occasion. When you're just living without the audience of the weekend. She said, Tuesday is when you find out who you actually are. When nothing is requiring you to be anything in particular. Tuesday, I owe you an apology. Tuesday, I spent years waiting through you for the weekend, for the occasion, for the remarkable thing that was coming eventually while you were right here. Being the day everything actually happened. Tuesday, the leftover conversation that changed me. The 11 minutes at the window, the walk to nowhere that arrived somewhere unexpected. Tuesday, I'm paying attention. Now I'm showing up for you. Though always showed up for me without fear and fan, without occasion. Without anything except a specific radical quiet grace of just being here again. Tuesday, my favorite day. Now that I know how to look, just Tuesday. Show up anyway. Just Tuesday, that's enough. Yeah, just Tuesday, that's enough. Everything visible gets the attention. What grows beneath does the actual good. Yeah. What? Yeah. The understory is the layer of a forest that lives beneath the canopy, beneath the trees that get the photographs, the calendar pages, the painting above the fireplace. The understory works and filter the light, and whatever the canopy decides to let through grows differently because of it. Not less or just shaped by a different relationship with the sun. I've spent most of my life in the understory of other people's narratives, the supporting character, the one who held things together while the canopy got the light, the one whose name appears in the acknowledgements of other people's books, think warmly and specifically by people who understood that the understory made their canopy possible without quite saying that directly. Understory, not invisible, not forgotten, just operating in a different register than the part everyone photographed. Understory, where the real diversity lies, where the rare things grow that can't survive in full sun, that need the particular filtered quality of light that only exists below the canopy. Understory, I'm done apologizing for being the layer nobody frames and hangs above the fireplace. The understory is where the forest's future lies. A botanist told me once that if you wanna understand a forest's health, don't look up, look down. The canopy shows you what survived. The understory shows you what's coming, what's a death, and what's finding a way and filter light that the canopy never had to navigate. Look down, she said the future of the forest is always closer to the ground than the sky.
attend to the understory of my own life. The things growing quietly below the level of my primary narrative. Skills I developed without calling them skills. Relationships I maintained without crediting them as relationships. The slow patient work of a person building something in filter light without the validation of the full sun. People who operate in canopy light take for granted. Started calling these things by their proper names. Started understanding that filter light produces specific strengths that full sun simply cannot. Understory coming into its own. Understory. The rare things that grow here, finally named, finally credited with the forest's actual health. Understory, yeah, I grew in filter light. And what grew is specific to that, is shaped by that, is strong in the pretend under ways that only filter produces understory, not waiting for the canopy to thin. Not waiting for my turn in the full sun. I am the understory. This is my register. This filter light is my specific condition, and what grows in me because of it is rare, is necessary, is exactly what this forest needs. Understory, the future is always closer to the ground and the sky. This is where understory, understory. Yeah, always was.
Everyone in here is waiting for their name to be called. Nobody makes eye contact. There's a particular democracy to waiting rooms. The executive and the janitor in the same plastic chairs, the same outdated magazines nobody reads, the same fluorescent patience required of everyone equally, regardless of what they're waiting for, regardless of who they are. Outside this room, I've spent a significant portion of my life in waiting rooms of various kinds, the medical kind, the bureaucratic kind, the kind where you sit outside an office while someone inside decides something about your future. Without you in a room where deciding happens, the kind where you wait for someone who said they'd be here by now. Waiting room where time moves at its own unhelpful speed. Waiting room where you discover exactly how comfortable you are with the absence of distraction, with just yourself in the chair and the clock that doesn't move fast enough. Waiting room where strangers sit close enough to touch and remain completely unknown to each other for hours. Waiting room, we spend so much of the one life we get in here, waiting for whatever comes next to arrive and call our name. Woman next to me, pediatric ward, Tuesday afternoon. A son inside my turn already called, but I sat back down, something about her need company without asking for it. We talked for 40 minutes about everything. It wasn't what we were both thinking about.
She showed me a photo on her phone of him healthy. Last summer at the beach, I looked at it like it was a postcard from a country I wanted to visit with her. She put it away, we went back to the quiet of the waiting room. Her name was called, she still straightened herself into the shape of a woman who could handle whatever was on the other side of the door. I watched her go, thought about her for weeks. The waiting room of grief is its own special architecture. No magazines, no clock, no sense of when your name will be called or what happens when it is. Just a plastic chair with the days that don't know they're supposed to feel different. Yet the fluorescent patience required of everyone who has lost something and not yet found out who they are on the other side of that particular door. The waiting room, waiting room, I'm learning to inhabit more honestly. Waiting room, not killing the time, not performing patience. I don't feel just sitting in the actual discomfort of not knowing when my name gets called, or not knowing what happens when it does. Waiting room where all the things you can't control live until the door opens. Waiting room where you find out who you are when you're not doing anything, when you're just being the person in the chair next to whoever needs 40 minutes of company without asking for it. Waiting room, I'm here, I'm waiting. I'm surprisingly okay with not knowing how long it takes.